Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com. Today we're taking a closer look at installing and dyno testing the 5-star X4 SF4 Power Flash Tuner by SCT, available with 3 custom tunes for all 11 to 14 3.5 liter EcoBoost F150s. You should be checking this out for your own EcoBoost if you're looking to pick up better horsepower and torque numbers, because we all know these EcoBoosts pick up a ton of power with a simple tune. 5-star's got 3 tunes loaded up for you on your X4 here that has a number of other features to take advantage of. But before we jump into all of the details, let's head right on over to the Dyno Graph and take a look at some results. So we have our 11.3.5 strapped down to the dyno, 33-inch tires on along with 93 octane in the tank, bone stock otherwise. We ran it to establish a baseline number, walked away with 282 horsepower, 315 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. We then uploaded our 5-star 93 octane tune, ran it under the same conditions, and walked away with 312 horsepower and 407 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. That's good for peak gains of 30 horsepower and 92 torque at the rear wheels. Peak gains alone are extremely impressive, and it's what we expect out of these EcoBoosts. They pick up power so easily with a simple tune. Curve gains are looking even better though. Under the curve, we're seeing gains of as much as 70 horsepower and 102 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. Guys, those gains we're seeing really at the low to mid range, which is going to make a huge impact on drivability with our F150, especially with the bigger wheels and tires that can really make our truck feel sluggish. We've got a lot of torque down low, and we're seeing really good gains all across the RPM band. Let's break down these tunes a little bit further here. Now, the 5-star tunes take a number of things into consideration looking at your factory tune to alter it to maximize your truck's potential. Now, you'll have an 87, a 91, and a 93 octane performance tune to take advantage of. 87 is going to be a great option for guys looking to get a little bit extra out of their truck, especially for a daily driver, someone trying to keep fuel economy in mind while also getting a little bit more throttle response and acceleration from their truck. With that, you'll also be able to alter tire size to take into account those larger wheels and tires to correct your speedometer. You can also change gear ratio and a number of other parameters within the tune. 91, of course, takes that a little bit further. Great for towing and hauling, guys looking for some better low-end torque to help with those heavier loads. And the 93 octane tune maximizes your performance, which is exactly what you just saw at the Dyno Graph there, and it really makes a huge difference. Now, the factory fuel strategies in that stock tune are pretty restrictive. They have delay timers at the top end before adding more fuel at wide open throttle, which can rob you of some of that extra power at the top end of the RPM band. Now, 5-star is going to take that into consideration, add a little bit more fuel at the top end to give you access and unlock more of that power. They're also going to alter the drive-by-wire delay, which is essentially the delay in time between hitting the gas pedal and your truck getting going off the line. Now, that can feel even more sluggish when those bigger wheels and tires come into play. So minimizing and even eliminating that delay there can make your truck feel so much more alive, which is definitely going to happen in this tune here, and the numbers at the graph definitely reflect that. They're going to lock the torque converter earlier to stay locked longer to give you access to each of those lower gears. You'll notice that when you're driving your truck on the factory tune, you make your way up to 4th, even through 6th gear pretty quickly, which can also bog down your truck when trying to floor it or trying to get a little bit more torque out of it at those higher gears. This way you have better torque on those lower gears and you can hold them a little bit longer while also getting a nice firm shift through each gear. So your truck's going to feel a lot sportier as well. Highway driving, you can definitely expect to have better gas mileage. You can also expect to have a little bit more power when you're towing and hauling, as I mentioned with that 91 tune. The device itself comes with a number of other options to take advantage of. The gauges and data log screen is great for guys looking to track and monitor live engine vitals on the fly within arm's reach of the driver's seat. It's got slots here on the back of your X4 device to mount to the SCT windshield mount, which you can pick up separately, which I think is going to be hugely beneficial when you want to use the gauges screen. You can monitor engine vitals such as coolant temp, air intake temp, PSI for these turbocharged guys. You can monitor boost. You can also take advantage of air fuel ratio. Up to 8 of these parameters at once you can track. So it's really useful and very customizable. You can data log your performance as well. If you want to record the vehicle's performance using your gauges configuration, you can communicate that back to 5-star for possible revisions to improve upon those tunes, which is hugely beneficial as well to have right at your fingertips. No need for any special programs and a laptop in the driver's seat. You can also use the DTC code reader. If your check engine light comes on, you can read the code, get the description, and clear it right then and there when you fix your issue. So that's beneficial without needing any separate OBD2 modules. You'll have Wi-Fi access, wireless updating for software and firmware capabilities, and a couple of other device menus to personalize your device to your own preference. Now, the device comes in right around $500, and it's going to get 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can tackle this in the driveway at home with about 30 minutes from start to finish. I'm going to walk you through the entire tuning process for your truck and then walk you through some of those features I mentioned. Let's get started. First things first, we got our device plugged in. I'm gonna grab my key, put it in the ignition, and I'm not gonna start the engine, but I'm gonna put it in the run position. From there, from the main menu, I wanna jump right into tuning our vehicle, which is from that program vehicle selection on the main menu. So let's jump right into that. You wanna hit continue on the street use notice and hit continue to confirm your key is on. All right, from here, you'll be presented with your preloaded and custom tunes. Once you custom tune your vehicle, it will disable your preloaded tune until you return to stock. So you'll see that here. Now, we have our 93 performance tune loaded on the device. You'll have 3 options, however, depending on how many you actually load to your device. You'll have your 87, 91, and 93. Since we're just focusing on 93 performance, that's what we're going with here. So I'm just gonna select that. Special options are available, so you wanna hit continue. You can adjust your TPMS settings. We're gonna keep those the same. You can adjust rear TPMS. When I continue on the options, make sure your key is on. It'll unlock the processor and move into saving your stock file to the device. That way, if you ever want to revert back to the factory tune, it'll be right here on your X4, and you can do so in the same menus. Now that your stock file is saved, it's going to start uploading the selected tune, in our case, the 93 octane option. All right, what you just saw there was it finishing uploading the tune we selected. It'll start clearing your DTCs, getting rid of any check engine lights or anything like that, and then download complete. You can hit done, takes you right back to the main menu. All right, aside from tuning the vehicle, we have a number of other features I want to talk about. So thing number 1 would be the gauges and data log menu from the main menu. You can make sure your key is in the on position and hit continue. What this will basically do is allow you to select a configuration that matches your vehicle. Now we're in a 13.5L, so we want to find gas 08 and newer. Select that and hit continue just to finalize the configuration you need to start with. From there, it'll load up a number of different parameters that you can monitor on the fly. Now, a default is 2 different gauges, one on the top, one on the bottom. You can see the top one here is control module voltage, bottom is coolant temp. Now, that's good for people who, just want to track those 2 specific things, but if you want to change things up, you can select one. So say we want to change control module voltage, you select it, select item, and then you have this list of parameters you can check on. RPMs, there's a number of air-fuel ratio banks, there's a number of temperature sensors. So we have coolant temp on the bottom. Let's put intake air temp at the top. Select it and hit approve. From there, it changes the top, and now it's monitoring that. If you go to the right here, you can change gauge layout, and you can monitor up to 8 at once. So that was only 2. Here's what that 8 looks like. And again, you can go through and change every single one of these individually. You can also record data log, so you can start recording those gauges that you set on the screen to monitor the vehicle's performance, and then again, communicate it back to your tuner for possible revisions. And then once you have that taken care of, you can hit stop data log, and it'll take you right back to the main menu. So that's a really useful thing to have, especially if you have a windshield mount. You can really check on this at arm's reach on the fly. Vehicle functions, read and clear DTC codes. So check engine light comes on, you can read it, get the description, and clear it right then and there to get rid of that light on the dash. Special functions, most people won't touch. There's cam relearn in there. I won't go into details with that, but it is an option there for the guys who need to use it. Vehicle info will give you your VIN number, your ECU strategy code. You'll also get a number of different parameters for your vehicle as well. Device info gives you your device serial number, which is useful for requesting new tunes. You'll also be able to see battery voltage in there, which is super useful as well. You'll also get married status, number of flashes remaining. You'll also get a number of other device info settings. Now, device settings, you can check for updates and you can connect to Wi-Fi. Now, those go hand in hand. So as long as you're in range of a Wi-Fi network, you can connect there and then check for updates for software and firmware. Display, obviously, you can change the brightness. It auto corrects to day and night modes as well. You can change the orientation from portrait to landscape. There's a couple of different themes to personalize it to your own touch. The other thing worth mentioning here in device settings is startup function. You can have it so as soon as you plug it in and it boots up, it'll go right to the gauges and data log menu instead of the main menu. So if you're connected to a windshield mount or a vent gauge mount or something like that and you want to track this every single day, that's a really useful function so you don't have to navigate there yourself. All right, and then finally, factory reset, you can hit exit back to the main menu, and that's your X4. That's gonna wrap up my review, install, and dyno test for the 5-star X4 SF4 Power Flash tuner with 3 custom tunes, available for your 11 to 14 3.5 liter F150. Now this guy you can pick up for yourself right here at AmericanTrucks.com.